I grew up in Tarai, Nepal. I'm a farmer in my heart. Don't be a pilot, don't be a mining engineer. That's what she meant. And those are the things I wanted to be.
Hello and namaste. Welcome to season 5 of TGND Beats, our podcast where we share stories of struggle, perseverance, and success of global Nepali professionals. I am Preeti Adhikary, the founder of the Great Nepali Diaspora, and now the general partner of Momo VC. We have a very special guest to chat with us about a very special topic. Bineet Sharma is the chair and adjunct faculty for computer programming certification at USCS Extension and a Silicon Valley senior consultant, education and technology, design, develop, and facilitate technology leadership program with International Development Institute or ITI. Welcome, Bineet Bhai.
Namaste, hey? Welcome. Thank you, thank you. प्रीति बहिनी भन्छु है त मैले
Us.
So, you know, you're the first one, doing interview like this for me. So I appreciate
No,
that.
I'm so excited, Daira. We've known each other for, a couple of months. We'll talk about our collaboration, Pani. Tara, the reason we're doing this podcast is, the incredible journey you've had, even in terms of the Nepali diaspora and the young people and all of that. And we wanted to share it. So we're super excited that this is the first, podcast we're doing. So thank you so much for your time, Dai.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm big fan of TGND. Like when I came in 1985 in here, we always wanted to do something for Nepal, right? Nepali, diaspora भन्ने पनि हामीलाई त्यो बेलामा दिमागमा हुँदैन थियो के when we were coming. And now what I see, what we had done a little bit here and there, and you doing it, I'm like, oh my
Thank you.
God, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. So big
Thank you
fan.
so much. Thank you. And likewise, in terms of हजुरले गरेको कुरा, and we'll talk about that पनि. तर let's start from, your youth in Nepal. अनि हजुरको journey to the US चाहिँ कस्तो थियो? Can you share about, some early memories of Nepal? And नेपालमा यहाँ US आउँदाखेरिको journey कस्तो थियो हजुरको?
Yeah, this is a long story, but I'll shorten it. So मैले भन्छु कसैले पनि मलाई सोद्धा who are you भन्यो भने I'm a farmer in my heart, होइन. So I grew up in Tarai, Nepal, होइन, मधेसमा,
हजुर.
Mahottari जिल्ला. And but we are very exposed. Our family was, very interesting, ups and down धेरै नै हुने.
Right.
But upside was my father was outgoing and all that. So I was already exposed to India, going India and coming back, and there were a lot of was friends were there. So we were already exposed to that one. Right?
हजुर.
And one of the I want to just connect with why the bug came in my head to come to United States once, right?
हजुर.
So I will just join.
हजुर.
So हाम्रो दोहर भन्छ we our first village is Sira, okay, Sira Jilla. So there, one of my sister's cousin had come to United States already that time. Think about, you're talking about 60s, 70s, right? Early 70s and early 80s. So then he came as a mining engineer, okay?
Interesting.
And what I heard is Raja Upadhyay, I can tell him he's very respected to me. And he had come there. That time, very few people were coming in here, very few. So it was coincidence that it was, I had known it. मेरो दिमागमा चाहिँ I was always thinking, oh my God, got to go to America. But during our time, it was not an economic migration or saying that, oh, we don't have education here, go here. I was very determined. I would go to India to study, okay, for engineering, and only for masters I'll come in here. That's very clear to me. So I tried and I got into IIT Kharagpur. In IIT Kharagpur, I did it.
Wow, त्यही that's so impressive, Dai.
Yeah. Architecture, तर त्यो self finance-मा थियो. But I
हजुर.
did not want to spend money from my dad. I said, you know what? I got to get a scholarship. So I applied again. I got a School of Mines, धनबाद त्यो पनि आइआइटी भयो अहिले त है
Right.
that is also second year I got full scholarship. So I left IIT, and that is another journey. People say that you are pagal. Why you are leaving IIT to go to ISM? But I did my homework. I found that ISM doing mining is one of the best way to come to United States because that guy had done it. I could do it. Radha had done it, so I can do it too. So I came and I got ragging. Ragging in India ma huncha ni
India.
ragging,
I
हैन?
know
So
exposed by right.
I was ragged twice. IIT Kharagpur also, and then School of Mines
Is
also.
there a difference in terms of ragging from एकदमै आइआइटीमा पढ्ने अझ लाइक अब नर्स भन्न मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन तर you know what I mean? Did you see like अलिकति difference in terms
Oh,
of
there is a big difference. I can tell you the ragging in IIT Kharagpur versus School of Mines itself. So IIT Kharagpur was only 1 month there is a ragging, okay, and there is a ragging, and then they call it a freshers intro. Okay, आजकल के नाम भन्छ थाहा छैन. I'm talking about 1977. Just IIT खरगपुरको सिल्भर जुब्ली भएको थियो.
हजुर
So they were ragging it, and then, but after 1 month freshers introमा गएर I'm Bineet Sharma, I'm in architecture department भनेपछि आफ्नो नाम भनेर चाहिँ नि बस्ने बित्तिकै त्यो सर भन्न लगाउँथ्यो नि पहिले 1 monthमा भन्यो भने why you are sir, we are your colleague, your friend. We had to switch right away to say we are all equal. होइन? Opposite, I come to School of Mines, there is also ragging. Okay, so I said, okay, fine, I got to bear with it. But this ragging goes for year,
Oh my god.
not for 1 month, year. But there is a big benefit out of it. Is like the seniors are senior for your life हुँदो रहेछ के त्यहाँ. टाइम बन्ड चाहिने प्रमोसन हुने भएको
So
हुनाले
trauma bonding जस्तो त
पहिले त सुरुमा त trauma, but you won't believe.
yeah.
Later on, we started appreciating. I didn't like it. I was the rebellion
Yeah.
first year. 1 month, why should I be, you guys do this one? But then I was tortured a little bit more, of course. But then I found, I'll give you the example of that. It will connect with you to
हजुर
say that coming to America is, एउटाले मलाई ऱ्यागिङ गरिरहेको थियो होइन. And but it was intellectual type of writing. It was not like you have heard in movies and all that thing, right? They will ask me something very intelligent question, like how many digits of the pie you can tell, for those kind of things. You got to be on your toes. It's India. People are so much,
competitive and yeah.
Yes. So, and then he was ragging me, and he was smiling with my answer and all that. My English was so poor, you won't believe. Okay. Then he asked, what do you want to do after graduating? I said, I want to go to America. First year boy says, I want to go to America. He looked at me, are you sure? Yes. Okay, pick up that box and go. I said, what is that box? Just pick up go and look at it, what is there. सबै त्यो टफेलको त पहिले त उसमा भाइनलमा हुन्थ्यो कि टफेलको
Right.
जिआरई टफेल बुकहरू. अब पहिले त हाम्रो यो गुगल सुगल थिएन वेब. द सबैको encyclopedia of the university, everything. I took a box in the first year to come in there.
Oh, wow,
so, okay, I'll prepare it, right? So anyway, so after we had a 5 years journey, 5 years, then in 82, I think I gave first TOEFL and GRE, but only one friend got out from there in 83. फेरि इन्डियामा कस्तो थियो भनेदेखि big universities like this, 25-30% of students are gone right away.
Right.
IIT ma the 50-60% of the students will come out, right?
Right.
So there was a batch of people come out. So म चाहिँ 83 मा मैले पाइनँ अनि मैले जोइन गरेँ इन्डिया के. You know why I joined India? The Tata को company join गरेँ मैले.
Consulting.
Huh?
Consulting मा दाइ?
होइन, I really joined as a permanent engineer, and my reasoning was, I don't want to ask my family to give for the money to buy for the registration and all those kind of things. अनि फेरि धनबादमै बस्यो भनेदेखि I could go to the teacher to get the recommendation letter.
Right.
पहिले जस्तो इमेलमा पठाउन मिल्दैन, उनीहरूलाई भन्नुपर्ने, भेट्नुपर्ने, अनि सोध्नुपर्ने कहिले लेखिदिनुहुन्छ, right? So we had to do that. So that's the reason I stayed. So I didn't get in 84, but then 84 I got admission in many of them, including Stanford, but nobody gave me money. होइन? को आउँछ त्यो बेलामा कि आफ्नो पैसा तिरेर, राइट? आई वान्टेड ए एसिस्टेन्टसिप. सो फाइनली स्कुल अफ त्यो कार्बोन्डेलले दियो इज सदर्न इलिनोइ युनिभर्सिटी, एन्ड द्याट्स हाउ आई केम इन 85.
Oh
So
my
that's
God.
my journey coming in here.
That's incredible, right? And
Yeah.
it's you're a follow-up question. Like it's still fun story and I'm sure traumatic पनि थियो त्यति बेला. तर अहिले आएर हाइन्डसाइटमा it feels like you had a clarity of thought भन्छ नि. That you knew your destination, US आउने, at least the starting point. And you were able to navigate all of it and so on, right? You deal with so many, dealt with so many students over the years. र अब diaspora के पनि you're so involved in the community. Do you see that, or yes and no भन्दा पनि, do you see that you being able to navigate vague things or like त्यो खालको are you seeing that?
So tell me again, clarify. So people are, are they clear about what they want to do, or
And there's it's not a right or wrong answer, right? Yeah, the हजुरले भन्छ नि, like you knew way in advance that you wanted to eventually come to the US, right? And you were able to do so many different things, take all these routes that you knew that someday you would end up in the US. That was your sort of goal, होइन? अहिलेको उसमा चाहिँ do you see in your studentsमै or people that you interact withमा चाहिँ that clarity of thought, not just what they want to be, तर being able to त्यो के navigate when things don't work out, or त्यो busyness के हुन्छ नि.
now I get it. Now I get it. Short answer is no. Okay. So think about this. And then it's not their fault. Again, I'm not putting anybody's at fault. के हुन्छ भने most of the people nowadays coming and trying to come are because मेरो दाजु गयो, मेरो काका गयो, मेरो मामा गयो, मेरो साथी गयो, मेरो यो गयो भनेर कि, not because you really wanted to do it, but there is a different kind of pressure, right? So you, instead of being, it's kind of pushed by some, the
external factors
external factor or like the बढिया है के,
right.
not thinking it through कि is it right, should I go, होइन?
Right.
अब मेरोमा पनि अब होइन, फ्यामिली टाइज एन्ड अल द्याटको कुरा पनि पछि आउला, होइन? म 7 सिब्लिङ्स मध्ये एउटा सिब्लिङ, होइन? मलाई कसैले फेरि भेरी भेरी फ्यामिली ओरिएन्टेड पर्सन म चाहिँ सबै चाहिँ कान्छो भाइ, होइन? सो पुल्याएको भन्छ, you know that meaning, right? So they never thought that I'll come and I'll stay here. That's what their thought. Even I didn't think it. I wanted to come here to study and go back. So that plan and all that, to think it through, and then I got to do it, and I don't want to give my parents any trouble or ask money and get a loan and all those. How the parents are living, all this story I hear and breaks my heart. Okay? Breaks my heart. Again, के हुन्छ भनेदेखि there is not much of opportunities and all that. मेरो पनि opportunity, मेरो opportunity अर्कै थियो, मेरो master's छैन. Even that, when I went to India to study, we didn't have engineering 4-year college. There was no way we could do the engineering in Nepal in 77. When I came back, then there was this 82 मा म आउँदाखेरि, 85 मा आउँदाखेरि second batch भएको थियो IOA को, Institute of Engineering को, है? So the point for us, it was the education. Now it's more than the education. Because नेपालमै पनि अहिले युनिभर्सिटिजहरू अमेजिङ युनिभर्सिटी कलेज प्रोफेसरहरू हुनुहुन्छ के,
exactly.
But it's not about that now. So that's a different. So anyway, I'll just stop at that for now.
No, I hear you. अनि त्यही मलाई चाहिँ that I mean अहिलेको I do feel like the kids now, younger generation भनौँ न, very smart, very they have strong opinions, they are, I think हाम्रो जस्तो baggage पनि छैन, good ways मा. तर कति times you're so right? That's what I see across the diaspora पनि, right? Where there are a lot of forces in play. त्यो आफ्नो like goalsहरू मात्रै हैन कि, there's other things in terms of leaving Nepal or coming somewhere and all of that.
मान्छेहरूले त फेरि they put down also, like उसको छोरा गइसक्यो, त किन यहाँ बसिरह्यो भने. Think about that kid, right? What they're going to think. like I'm a failure. What are you saying?
Exactly, exactly.
Right?
अनि
So
त्यो
so
चाहिँ हजुर, नो नो
yeah,
you're so right दाइ। अनि त्यो अब अहिले आएर लाइक यू सेड राइट अब कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अब इट साउन्ड्स अलिकति अलिकति कन्ट्रडिक्टरी बिकज हामीहरू नेपाल बाहिर बसिरहेको मान्छेहरू चाहिँ वी सी दिस।
right.
अनि त्यो तर भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ अनि त्यो कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अब इट साउन्ड्स त्यही भए पनि तर वाट वी अल रियलाइज नाउ इज नेपालमै पनि कति कुराहरूमा चाहिँ राम्रो छ होइन, देयर
Right.
सो मेनी गुड पोजिटिभ थिङ्सहरू त्यसैले त्यो ढकालिएर बाहिर निस्किने पनि कति टाइम्स गर्दैन जस्तो पनि लाग्छ
No,
राइट।
I think you said rightly. I don't want to be a person to be called like, okay, आफू गइसक्यो हामीलाई चाहिँ नाउ भन्छ होइन,
एक्ज्याक्टली
for
एक्ज्याक्टली
example. So yeah, no, everybody's case is different, and then people who come though, some of the folks who are working TGND को ग्रुपको मान्छेहरूसित कति भाइ बहिनीसित काम हुन्छ होइन. I am just amazed what kind of
एक्ज्याक्टली
education they have, what kind of drive they have is just amazing. So yeah, no matter what, wherever you got to do your work. As long as
एक्ज्याक्टली
you do it, you'll be okay.
हजुर, अफ कोर्स, अफ कोर्स। यसबाट दाइ अलिकति लेट्स मुभ इन्टु हजुरको करियर हेज बिन सो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ राइट, त्यो अब इन्डियाबाट युएस आएर देन युर इन्भल्भ इन एकाडेमिया एन्ड इन्डस्ट्री, त्यो चाहिँ अब रेयर सेगमेन्ट मान्छेहरू हुन्छ होइन, देयर इज पिपल एक्चुली जस्ट चुज वान अर दि अदर राइट। अनि त्यो के भन्छ अरे ट्रान्जेक्सन वान वे त गाह्रो हुन्छ अनि युर सोर्ट अफ युर सोर्ट अफ ड्याब्लिङ इन बोथ, त्यो एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ मिक्स छ होइन। हामीलाई चाहिँ आई थिङ्क वान थिङ द्याट रियली आई वुड लभ आवर अडियन्स टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड इज हजुरलाई वाट वाज इन्ट्रेस्टिङ अबाउट एकाडेमिया फर्स्टमा चाहिँ टु गेट इन टु द्याट, अनि हाउ डु यु सर्ट अफ ब्यालेन्स द्याट राइट, बिकज स्किल सेट सेम भए पनि इट्स भेरी डिफरेन्ट इन टर्म्स अफ हाउ इन्डस्ट्री वर्क्स भर्सेस टिचिङ, सो हाउ डु यु ब्यालेन्स अल अफ द्याट?
ब्यालेन्सको कुरा चाहिँ अलिकति पछि गर्छु, तर हाउ डिड आई वेन्ट फर द
हस्
एकाडेमीको कुरा गरौँ है त. सो
हस्
आई
हस्
हेभ इन टेक्नोलोजिस फर्स्ट त म त माइनिङ मास्टर्स गर्न आएको मान्छे नि त
हजुर
होइन. सो माइनिङमा आएपछि त माइनिङमा चाहिँ नि काम गर्ने मन थिएन मलाई, किनभनेदेखि
द्याट
माई
वाज जस्ट द गेटवे।
it was like a escape, and then also I was really not telling the truth to my mom, because my mom used to say in नेपालीमा भन्नुहुन्थ्यो, छोरा जे काम गर्छस् आइएम ओके, भुइँभन्दा माथि र भुइँभन्दा तलको काम नगर्नु. सो द्याट मिन्स डोन्ट बी अ पाइलट, डोन्ट बी अ माइनिङ इन्जिनियर. द्याट्स वाट सी मेन्ट. एन्ड दोज आर द थिङ्स आई वान्टेड टु बी. ओके, मैले एप्लाई पनि गरेको एरोनोटिकल इन्जिनियर, पाइलट त होइन, एरोनोटिकल इन्जिनियर र आर्किटेक्ट एप्लाई गरेको थिएँ. सो आई गट आर्किटेक्ट इन गोइङ टु खडगपुर, बट लेटर आई न्यू द्याट द गेट वे टु अमेरिका इज माइनिङ, सो आई ह्याड टु डु इट. And I can tell you, confess here, I lied to my mom that I don't go inside. I'm an engineer. I don't have to go inside the mine. Don't worry.
सो हाफ ट्रुथ दाइ।
Yeah, but I got to tell you a very interesting story before I come to
हस्
your
हस्
answer,
हस्
okay? So what happened was, I was in India. Somehow there was a communication gap. पहिले पहिले फोन थिएन. मेरो बहिनीको बिहा लागिसकेछ होइन, अनि my brother had sent me a telegram to come for a बहिनीको बिहामा. So think about it, is 84. I didn't get it. They should have sent a letter. I would have got it, right? I didn't get it. So they were, my all brothers, sister-in-laws, everybody knew that I am mining engineer, so I go inside. But they had not told my mom, right? So because I had told, don't tell her, that I go inside.
राइट
So one day I was in a hostel, and I was a young engineer. I got a knock in the door early in the morning, and I had almost worked whole night long in the mine inside.
राइट
And I open, I see both my brother and sister-in-law. I'm like, कहाँबाट आउनुभयो तपाईँहरू? And they go, they thought, they were scared that I have something happened to me, in mine. So they were so afraid, and my mom was so afraid that how can he will miss the wedding. So both of them have gone. So I was so nervous and saying to everybody there, oh, my sister's wedding happened and I couldn't get it. So everybody was like, go now, go with your brothers and all that. But anyway, what I did is, okay, we'll go tomorrow home, but I'll show you the mine. So I
राइट
went inside the mine. My brothers and sister-in-law also went. And then they were going around. I was showing stuff in there, but it is like a coal mine area. So So dirty, so dirty. Kathmandu dirty sunny. Nothing compared with that. If you come out of the mine, only my eyes will be like this. Everything will be black suit. Okay. So so my sister-in-law, she's pale, right? And then she didn't tell me anything. But when she came home with me and in front of my mom, I said, Babu ta कोइला खानीमा जाँदो हुँदो रहेछ है सी जस्ट डिड नट लाइक मी टु गो अनि सी सेड यसमा यति कालो कि मेरो सारीको तलबाट त्यो मेरो सायाको तलबाट पनि मेरो खुट्टा पनि कालो भयो so that was my end of my mining engineering okay I said okay fine I'm not going to go inside. I really resigned after that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So okay, come back to your questions answer. Is how that transition happened. I came here for mining engineering, right? Then my thing was right that moment I didn't want to join it, so I wanted to say what is next. So think
Right.
about it is 87, 88. So that is the time when computer was taking off. Okay, so my own classmates from India, 2 years, 3 years
Right.
senior, and my own classmates, that's their route. They also
Mm.
came similar route like me. So mining, do computer science, and go to Silicon Valley. So that's what I did. All right. So I actually I went back in Nepal in 88. समरमा मात्रै जाउँ भनेको त म 2 वर्ष 3 वर्षलाई त्यहीँ बिहा भयो छोरी एउटा पनि त्यहीँ जन्मियो होइन. Another interesting thing in my thing I'll tell you right away is I started a computer training institute in 1988. It's called
Wow.
Computer Consult that time in
Interesting.
1988. Okay. So don't get me wrong that it was not a first of a kind. There were already few of them already there. But mine one after 1.5 years, 2 years from in bottom we made it second or third top one in there. Okay. And then I came here again in 90. I left that one in with my friends, the mining engineers, some of them, and but
The mining engineers turned.
yeah, I said, you know what, you be a partner, you take care of it, and I'm heading out. So they took care of it, and my brother headed, one of my second brother, he headed that one for a while. And his interesting story also comes
That's it.
because I came back here in 90, and in 92, if you look at it, Computer Association of Nepal started in Nepal. And guess who started it? My brother, the one whom I left that
Oh my God.
computer
Amazing.
consult,
Right?
he is the one, he was the instrumental, he was founding president there. Okay. I'll come back to the later on. See, there's a long story about me, right?
That's so एकदमै रमाइलो story that in terms of, all the different the pathways, right? To be where you are अहिले.
Exactly. And then 90 I came to do my masters in computer science. मैले जाने कम्प्युटरको क्लासहरू त्यो प्रिरेक्विजिटहरू हुन्थ्यो कि गरिसकेका थिएँ. So they were giving me that. And then I worked in 92 to 95 in Arkansas. Then I came to Silicon Valley in 95. Then after that, I made home here. But let me do the transition about the academy you said, right? How did that happen? So think about in 88, no, before 88, what had happened was research, my assistantship was in the research first. The second year, they gave me as a teaching assistant. So I taught engineering drawing, okay, as a teach I as a teaching
RA-हरू
assistant.
जस्तो guys,
Yeah,
right?
RA. So that time I loved teaching, and engineering was my engineering drawing was my best. In fact, I was always getting highest marks in Indian School of Mines because I had a background of architecture from IIT Kharagpur, and in engineering drawing, I was always number one. Okay, there. And here it happened that I started teaching it, and I said, "Oh, I love it. This is a good one." But never thought that I would be a teacher because I had to do it. Then a chance came to go to Nepal, and I saw that these people are doing the training. I said, I can teach these kind of things. So I started teaching in Nepal in 88, 87 with some university, some of the institutes. And
Right.
they said they're not doing good job. You know what they do is they give you half an hour for the practice. I'm like, who's going to learn in half an hour of practice in a day? So I said, okay, I'm going to open my own. I
Mm.
opened it and opened lab just like in America all night long.
Oh,
Open
nice.
the lab for all night long. Anybody can keep on practicing in the computer. So got some PCs and all that, and then let them do it. So that teaching was in my head all the time. And then when I came to the Bay Area in '95, one of my Vietnamese friend from that company where I was working said, Bineet, there's a class we can take. Let's take it. Visual C++, Microsoft Foundation class library, and Visual C++ is the next best thing. Let's go. There people are learning that. I said, really? I thought the classes I have to be admitted in university. So no, no, no. You can just take one class. I went there. Amazing class, that Windows programming. That's what it was. Windows programming, and I still remember the teacher called Laura Draxler. She was
Yeah.
teaching it. She was pretty good, and she had written a book already. And then at the end of the all class, 10 weeks passed. I did very good in there. I was so happy. I was the troublemaker for her all the time, questioning it. So she kind of knew it, out of 40, 50 students, she kind of knew this guy is a troublemaker. So at the last, all the students wants to ask question to the teacher. I was
Right.
also in the line. When my turn came, I said, I don't have a question like that. The guys are asking a techie question. I have another question. She said, what? How do I do it just like you? I want to be
Mm.
a teacher. She looks up and down, and then she goes, you want to be a teacher? What do you want to teach? I said, exactly this. I love this MFC and Visual C++. I want to teach it. She just laughed. He said, you just took a class and you want to teach? Are you sure? I said, I'm 100% sure I can teach it. And she becomes serious, and then she says, what do you do? She asked me. I said, I'm doing CSDK. Windows program that time, think about like an assembly language of
Mm.
programming. You had to use C to write the Windows. Think
Is
about the
that
Windows application using C. It was very tough. And I said, I use CSDK to write the Windows. Teach it. We have a class for that. Why don't you teach that? I said, okay, fine. So, and then she goes, you came to the right person. I'm their advisor. I'll pass your resume. And that's the history. That's it.
wow?
That's my history. And after that one, I started teaching in UC Berkeley. That was UC Berkeley's extension. And I taught until 2005 there, multiple classes. And I took a, little bit of sabbatical in the sense that I didn't want to teach too much of work. That part of the second part of the question, I'll tell you, how do you balance it? And then from 2011, I joined this UCSC Extension, University of California, Santa Cruz has a extension right here in Silicon Valley. So I started teaching there in 2011, and then became 6 years ago, I became chair of their certificate program. Okay.
Amazing. Amazing there. Amazing story. And I love that, apart from your technical skills, that's how there's a, I love that you also had the confidence and the curiosity to go ask it. Because a lot of us, especially हामीहरू, immigrants, भन्ने कि, all of us, I think we don't. के? Right? We want to, तर classमै पनि we want to ask, we don't want to ask stupid questions or कति कुराहरू चाहिँ there might be roles for people in companies where they might be, eligible for it. They might have the skills. So nobody goes. I mean, I think it's changing. That people don't go up and say, "Oh, can I apply for it? Can I do like you?" I love that you had that spirit. Okay, you had the confidence and the spirit for that.
I think that's the most important point you are saying about our young
Mm.
fellows and all that I see, and it's still not developed.
Oh,
That good high school and all that in Nepal, when they go, they are good. They can do it. But
that's a,
overall, if you see it, that hesitation,
exactly.
communication gap, how can I, do this? Um, what they may think that I'm foolish, right?
Oh,
Stupid भन्ने हो कि there is a stupid question हो कि भन्ने एउटा भएर चाहिँ नि that that is one of the things even prevails even in their professional life, what I've seen it.
exactly. Exactly.
है
Mm,
अनि
mm.
युजली काम यताबाट काम पठायो केही गर्यो भनेदेखि क्वेसन छ भन्दाखेरि एउटा पनि जिप्पो क्वेसन हुँदैन, right?
Exactly.
So because I get that is because they think that I might think that okay, I might judge them that they don't know, right?
Correctly.
And they want to take time to do it. तर टाइम भएर पनि फेरि काम गर्दाखेरि भएन भने पनि नभन्ने के किन भइरहेको छैन भनेर।
लाइक त्यो अलिक ढिलो भन्ने के लास्टमा हुँदै भएन, यु ट्राई एभ्रिथिङ अनि डजन्ट वर्क अर त्यस्तोमा चाहिँ या
एक्ज्याक्टली एक्ज्याक्टली
एक्ज्याक्टली त्यो एउटा कल्चरल ऊ चाहिँ डेफिनेटली छ त्यो मध्ये आई एड एउटा वान क्विक थिङ मलाई चाहिँ वान होप फर द नेक्स्ट जेनेरेसन अर यो यङ्गर पिपलको लागि चाहिँ वेदर नेपाल अब छोड्ने अघि नै कुराहरू गरेका थियौँ होइन बाहिर गएर अब एनी स्किल्स एनी काइन्ड अफ डिग्री त्यो पढ्ने त छँदैछ द्याट द्याट अभियसली चेन्जेस योर लाइफ तर मेरो एउटा एकदमै डिप होप विथ यो टिजिएनडी अर एनिथिङ लाइक द्याटमा चाहिँ that people learn this I call it American confidence के जुन चाहिँ यहाँ हुन्छ नि इट्स नट त्यो पहिला चाहिँ यु वुड थिङ्क द्याट इट्स एरोगेन्स अर एनिथिङ त्यो होइन के इट्स लाइक यु अभियसली डु द वर्क त्यो सबै तर यु अल्सो स्पिक अप के मलाई चाहिँ आई होप त्यो द्याट सर्ट अफ इन्फ्युजेस इन आवर कम्युनिटी त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ लाइक इट विल बी ग्रेट जस्तो लाग्छ कि
this is the point. This is the point I want to drive also. And I have said that in multiple scenarios and all that, trauma. What is the difference between American education and other education?
right
I got educated in Nepal, I got educated in America, India, and here, right? So the point you are making is not done in university, not trained in that. It is trained in elementary school. जब मेरो छोरीहरू started going to the बालवर्ग यहाँको when they started going in kindergarten,
हजुर
in kindergarten there is something called a show and tell. Okay? अनि हामी गएर चाहिँ नि प्यारेन्टहरू चाहिँ म गएर अब्जर्भ गर्थेँ के अनि अब्जर्भ गर्दाखेरि त्यो टिचर चाहिँ नि बसिरहेछ त्यहाँ होइन सी माइट बी डुइङ समथिङ एन्ड इट्स इट्स सो एन्ड टेल टाइम राइट सो वाट दे आर सपोज टु डु द किड्स हेज टु ब्रिङ समथिङ unique from their home, anything, and then speak about it.
right
Simple. Kindergarten like, so I'll just act upon it. Say something. Say suppose this kid brought this stapler. He'll do like this. अनि अब किड त हो यसो गरिरहेछ गर्छ है यहाँको टिचरहरूलाई कति पेसेन्स छ अनि त्यहाँ पछि होइन अनि भन्छ Hey Joshua, so what did you bring it? I brought this stapler भन्छ के उसले अनि उसले भन्छ so describe it. Oh, this stapler is used by my dad. This has a pin in there. Think about this, okay? Everybody's bringing some toy, something real thing or whatever and talking about it. So what is that doing to the brain? Show and tell. It's like you are telling, verbalizing it, your fear goes out, and you can describe anything. नेपालीमा एउटा उखान छ बोल्नेको पिठो पनि बिक्ने नबोल्नेको चामल पनि नबिक्ने के right? So America teaches this show and tell. Right from the childhood. It's not about the university.
Exactly.
It's in the elementary school you have to do it. अर्को एउटा पोइन्ट चाहिँ नि भनिदिइहाल्नु द अदर थिङ वाट युआर सेइङ लर्निङ टु लर्न भन्ने चाहिँ नि थर्ड ग्रेड या फोर्थ ग्रेडमा चाहिँ नि एकचोटि प्यारेन्ट टिचर मिटिङमा ओ दिस इयर दे आर लर्निङ टु लर्न भने के मेरो हालत खराब यो लर्निङ टु लर्न क्या हो अब त्यहाँ गुगल गर्ने छैन च्याट जिपिटी छैन त्यो बेलामा होइन अनि कसैलाई सोध्न पनि मन लागेन कस्तो यो लर्निङ टु लर्न भन्ने पनि थाहा भएन somehow later on I found out what is it. I said, wow, this is how America is America.
Exactly.
Simple. This is how, does not matter if there is a gold rush and America falls down, dust is off and gets up and going.
Exactly.
Tomorrow is a technology bust, no problem. Today is a Trump, no problem. No problem. Next 2028, don't worry about it. We'll be dusting off and going, right? So, and that's all comes from the education. And the education, how we did. This simple two things you think is in the teaching. You
Yes.
have to learn how to learn,
Mm.
and you have to be able to tell what you learn, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So those things are what, this is my passion. If possible, this is what I want to impart in Nepal, really,
Exactly.
to
Exactly.
to to do this with the teachers and educators and everybody.
Also, no, no, I so get that. To in terms of to almost the cultural shift पनि हो, right? In terms of education, like we talked about, कति कुराहरू नेपालकोमा राम्रो छ, तर something like this, के these यो almost almost intangible कुराहरू जस्तो हो के, होइन? यो like a
Yeah.
softer skillsहरू, तर 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 incredible दाइ. अनि यसमा मलाई I do want to connect. Uh, s- uh, I think you know the things that you've been involved with, and then your TGND Kuma pani, right? About if people are not learning these kind of things, if we didn't learn those things in Nepal, I mean, growing up and all of that, I know. हामीले अब TGND को तर्फबाट, and I mean, we'll talk about your network as well, right? We're trying to nudge people to learn as adults. Not as easy, not as seamless, तर त्यो that networking या त्यो अलिकति speaking to other people, त्यस्तो खालको skillsहरू पनि हामी we're sort of trying to get our community to learn, होइन? यसमा चाहिँ दाइ I do want to want you to share with everybody. हजुर चाहिँ एउटा there is a group called L3-5P, right? You're a key member. त्यसको चाहिँ for everybody it's called Link, Learn and Lift. अनि it's 5P चाहिँ it's 5 pandas, right? एकदमै interesting ऊ छ. So tell us, अनि हामी we've collaborated for an event. I mean, Stanford, we had done an event for Ghar initiative, which is incredible. Tell us about the origin story, Dai, of that group. Ani, if you could tie it with, everything that we're talking about, right, in terms of the gaps we see, Matt, and what you're trying to change.
Yeah, this, yeah, L3 and 5P, as you said, link, learn, and lift. Idea is very simple. Link means network, first network and learn something with the network, and then lift, do something uplifting work, like
Exactly.
be connected with whatever works for you, whether community in here, community in Nepal, or your own family or whatever. Do something uplifting kind of idea. So that's the main thing. And 5P is Panch Pandav, as you said. So we're a group of 5 folks, okay? And needless to say, I'm the oldest member. And we don't say who's Yudhishthir and who's Bhima or Arjun Nakul. We don't say that. We are equal. So, and then the interesting of this dynamics is about Mochu, oldest person, but then there is a 10-year younger, another 10-year younger, the difference age between us is like 30, 35, 40 years.
Oh,
Okay. But we gather, we are like in a snap, we say, okay, let's work together. Here is Preeti Baini is coming, let's have her, or let's collaborate with her and do this. Okay. Or say Pukar is coming, let's collaborate with him and do something.
yeah.
So we have been doing these kind of things a long time. Okay, first of all, long time भनेको के भन्दा, I gave you the story of Computer Association of Nepal starting in 92. After doing that, there was always a pressure for me to open something in here.
हजुर.
नेपालले नै चाहिँ उनीहरू चाहिँ सिस्टर अर्गनाइजेसन जस्तो बनाऊ भनेर उनीहरूले कोरियामा, जापानमा खोलेर चाहिँ क्यान जापान, क्यान कोरिया भनेर, म चाहिँ नि रेसिस्टिङ गरेर, आई डोन्ट वान्ट टु ओपन एनी अर्गनाइजेसन अर एनिथिङ. So finally, I caved in 2007. Okay, so we founded Computer Association of Nepal, USA. Okay, so 2007, 2008, 2010, 2010 9मा होला हाम्रो पुकार भाइ चाहिँ नि भाइस प्रेसिडेन्ट हुनुहुन्थ्यो when I was the president that time. So there are a lot of people came in that time, and we were gung ho on this. Okay, and slowly अहिले पनि छ, तर त्यसले नाम चेन्ज गर्यौँ क्या, यो कम्प्युटर एसोसिएसन नेपाल भनेपछि धेरै चाहिँ अर्गनाइजेसन मिलेन. वी चेन्ज इट टु ग्लोबल नेपाली प्रोफेसनल नेटवर्क भनेर, GNPN. So now every 2 years, the president changed. Now अहिले जोयान हुनुहुन्छ, बहिनीहरू चलाउनुहुन्छ अहिले सो इट इज गोइङ वेल इट्स अ प्रोफेसनल अर्गनाइजेसन डाइरेक्टली अब युएसएआइडी अब युएसएआइडी त रहेन होइन नेपालमा चाहिँ नै कनेक्सन केही गर्नु पऱ्यो भने पनि जिएनपिएन इज ए गुड अर्गनाइजेसन हियर एन्ड वी
हजुर
इज टु डु कुराकानी थ्रु द्याट एक्चुअली कुराकानी वाज सेपरेट वी कल इट ए कुराकानी एन्ड द फर्स्ट पर्सन टु स्टार्ट वाज this person, Nile and I, and then we brought it to GNPN सँग आयो त्यो and then what happened was so after that we left right we left and then बुढा भइयो we are we don't want to continue that so then we said okay what is next this kind of thing we can do it so this is the new form of our kurakami okay
Right.
so we started this called GNPN, no, L35P. So, and it's ad hoc. What I found, Preeti, when you can appreciate this, running an organization, running ad hoc, running organization takes a lot of energy.
It's
And
very
I
hard.
can, I saw you starting it, I did not know you, but I came to know from Jay Bhai, and then and I also joined it right away. We had not connected yet, and I really, really appreciate it. I said, "Oh my God, this is the thing to do. We should have started like this." And that's why my profound respect comes to you and your organization, all the Didi बहिनीहरू छन् दाजुभाइहरू छन् होइन इट्स जस्ट अमेजिङ एनर्जी है आई गो टु your program I get oh my god this adrenaline is goes up for me okay
Exactly.
so that's the right way to do what you are doing is the right way to do it अनि हामी चाहिँ नि अब बुढाहरू भएपछि हामी चाहिँ नि इट्स ओके इट्स नट आई वुड नट से बुढाहरू बट यङ छौँ हार्टमा so so what happens is for us is a domain expertise हुन्छ के भनौँ न बहिनीलाई चाहिँ नि अब होल अमेरिकाको सोच्नुपर्छ हामी चाहिँ नि बे एरियालाई चाहिँ नि डोमेन एक्सपर्टिज जस्तो भइरहेछौँ नि त होइन सो एन्ड द्याट हेज इट्स ओन भ्याल्यु
Exactly.
so that's where I am so if now you had another follow-up question on that you ask how this can be instrumental or
How it can benefit? How can people benefit from that? And especially in terms of we talked about some skills we don't really learn in
oh
Nepal growing
okay
up.
yeah
This is
exactly
like
I think हाम्रो स्पेसली नेपाली ग्रुपमा चाहिँ मैले जहिले पनि भन्ने के हो भने नि स्पेसली नेपालबाट आएको अन्डर ग्राड नेपालमा गरेर आउने होइन सबैको डिफ्रेन्ट हुन्छ यदि हाई स्कुलबाट आएर यहाँ अन्डर ग्राड गरेछ भने दे आर अमेरिकन दे अलरेडी नो एभ्रिथिङ बट इन्जिनियरिङ त्यहाँ गरेर मास्टर्स गर्न आएको छ मास्टर्स गरेर पिएचडी गर्न आएको छ भने तिनीहरूको डाइनामिक्समा चाहिँ अलिकति डिफ्रेन्स हुन्छ
exactly.
र नेपालैमा काम गरिरहेको खालि H1B लिएर आउनेहरू पनि छन् आजकल दिदीभाइ बहिनी भाइहरू होइन सो के कुरामा हामीलाई चाहिँ त्यहाँ चाहिँ अलिकता ग्याप देखिन्छ भने अनि गर्नुपर्ने बिकज दे आर अलरेडी मेच्योर्ड एन्ड दे हेभ वान वे अफ डुइङ थिङ्स लाइक इन नेपाल जहाँ चाहिँ वी अलरेडी टक अबाउट राइट क्वेसन नसोध्ने गर्ने त्यो चाहिँ नि त्यसलाई त सफ्ट स्किल भन्छौँ नि त हामी होइन त्यो सफ्ट स्किलको पनि चाहिँ नि ट्रेनिङ दिने चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ फर्स्ट अफ अल होइन सफ्ट स्किलको चाहिँ नि दिने एउटा इम्पोर्टेन्ट भयो तर more than that what I feel it I don't know whether you have thought of or not is हाम्रो दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरूलाई चाहिँ नि ओनरसिप के एउटा होइन प्राइड अफ योर वर्क
Yeah.
is what we have to teach them more
Exactly. Exactly.
होइन अब यो अमेरिकामा हेर्नु हामी चाहिँ नि 17 घन्टा 18 घन्टा काम गर्छौँ र पनि we are happy right of course there is a stress we are family we have all of those stress comes but we are happy we are proud of our work
Exactly. अनि त्यो दुईटा त्यो प्राइड र त्यो डिग्निटी पनि छ के दाइ you know what I mean? It could be like whatever you do, right?
Exactly.
It does not, त्यो पनि छ के त्यो पनि I really appreciate.
Right. And अब I'll just give an example. मैले अमेरिकामा प्रोफेसनली काम गर्न लागेको 92 देखि अहिलेसम्म छु होइन
हजुर
at least I have hopped 10 or 10 companies.
Right.
And त्यो 10 कम्पनीमा कतिवटा प्रोजेक्ट्स भयो होला You ask me any project I do it, I can tell you everything about it right
Exactly.
now.
Oh,
Why? I gave my heart and soul to that one. And whenever I left in a good, except one or two, I should say. I
majority. Let's say
yeah,
majority of the time.
I left in a good term that I still are in the LinkedIn and all that
Of
because
course.
this world is so small, so so
It
so
is.
small,
Company is so important, okay?
right?
Uh, uh, uh,
So
right.
so 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 these are the things we have to instill it. किनभने मैले त्यो नेपालमा देखाएको छु अहिलेसम्म पनि यो त्यो कतिवटा कम्पनी राम्रो राम्रो कम्पनीहरू त काम गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ नि नेपालमा म त नतमस्तक रुद्र पाण्डे
Right.
विश्वास विशाल हिमाल कर्मचार्य अनि होइन कतिवटा मान्छेले काम गराउँदै हुन्छ के हुन्छ उहाँहरूलाई इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट बिकज द पिपल जस्ट लिभ दे डोन्ट हेभ ओनरसिप दे डोन्ट टेक प्राइड अन इट there is no problem. If you have to leave it, leave. Please
Leave.
leave in a good terms,
Oh,
right?
oh. Uh-huh.
Right. So these are the things. These are the skills you have to develop it, and
Exactly.
don't feel bad that they will feel bad
Mm, mm, mm.
because they will always appreciate you. Talk
Exactly.
to them. Say that, hey, how can I help? I got to go. I got a visa. मलाई यति दिनमा जानुपर्छ.
To communicate again comes back to communication as well. Okay, Diane.
Exactly.
त्यो
Exactly.
मैले I've been in so many positions where people managing peopleमा चाहिँ होइन where there is a good and bad way to leave a company क्या
Right.
and vice versa right अब companyकै
Exactly.
हिसाबले पनि there is a good and bad way to even अब fire or get you know what I mean right and
Right.
कति कुरा
Right.
चाहिँ
Yeah.
nobody wants to let go of people most
Yeah.
cases ma अनि on the other side companyमा पनि it sort of feels when somebody leaves होइन तर there's त्यो communication कस्तो matter गर्छ क्या there's where त्यो there is no त्यो bridges burnै गरेर like people will just leave
That's a good point. It goes to the company also.
um,
कम्पनीको मान्छेहरूले पनि फायर गर्नु पऱ्यो किनभने ले अफ गर्नुपर्छ देयर इज नो अदर वे बट ले अफ इन ए गुड टर्म्स फर्स्ट थिङ मैले ले अफ गर्नु पऱ्यो भने केही भने फर्स्ट थिङ लाइक ओके टेल मी हाउ क्यान आई हेल्प
mm,
देयर इज ए रिकमेन्डेसन देयर इज लाइफ लङ रिकमेन्डेसन मैले जहिले पनि भएको मान्छेहरूलाई आफ्नो उसको मान्छेहरूलाई रिपोर्टिङ गर्ने मान्छेहरूलाई त्यही भने you got to be their cheerleader. You got to
exact
be able to help them. You got to be able to help them transition to something
transition
else,
exactly
right?
exactly exactly
So yeah, I agree. And yeah, these are the area. Let me tell you the positive side of it. Okay,
mm,
हाम्रो चाहिँ नि young graduates, young professionals चाहिँ नि amazing. म चाहिँ नि they have a lot of creativity and they can learn very fast. And couple of एरियामा चाहिँ नि अलिकति पलिस गराउनु पर्छ फर इक्जाम्पल ता डु नो इन नेपाली से तातो खाउँ जल्दी मरौँ भन्छ कि मिनिङ just go fast. I got to be millionaire right away. It don't happen.
uh-huh.
Bineet Sharma is not a multi-millionaire. Okay, don't worry about it.
Mm, mm.
It's slow and steady. What makes you happy? You got to go along with your flow. You got to have your family, right? And if you keep doing what you are doing, and as you said in the beginning, and
Exactly.
you have a goal,
Uh,
you'll be successful.
तर त्यो
So
क्विक त्यो सर्टकट्स जे कुरामा पनि सर्टकट्स आई थिङ्क त्यो सर्टकट्स इजी मनी लाइक त्यो के हुन्छ नि त्यो मात्रै लाइक यु सेड राइट त्यो अगेन कम्स ब्याक टु त्यो द डिग्निटी ओर द ओनरसिप अफ यर वर्क पनि राइट
ownership,
where of
exactly.
course you can move companies move roles to sort of progress in life तर not त्यस्तो एकदमै ट्रान्ज्याक्सनल पनि नभएर राइट and just feeling like okay everything needs to come right now right
Yeah.
without putting any sort of हुन्छ नि,
Mm.
any work into it भनेर चाहिँ
Can I tell you, there is a
हस्
very interesting story. I will tell
हस्
you.
हस्
मेरो फर्स्ट कम्पनीमा मैले रिजाइन गर्दाखेरि फर्स्ट टाइम when I said to my manager and I were in the car when I told her, both of us cried, really cried. I was really thinking, what this company is going to do? I'm not there. I said, tell me whatever you need me 1 month notice and tell me whatever I'll do it for you, kind
exactly
of, right? And I'll tell you another story is like there was dot-com boom was going on. It was 99 or 98, 99 time. And then I was in a very good company. Think about it, I have never seen a company. It's a so small company, but they used to give us, American Express credit card, everybody. And
Amazing.
if I spend that for the book, if I spend that one for my education, even I went to conference in Boston, I went for that. I only had to say that I'm going.
Mm,
I didn't have to submit any receipt. I didn't have to do anything. I was surprised, really
mm,
surprised. That good a company. But I left it. You know why? I got a this startup company. They gave me some, you know, RSUs and all that. I said, okay, I got to go. And I told Scrog that, hey, I'm going. And I was thinking he might double down and give me some money or whatever. He did not. I said,
it
well,
didn't.
Beneath is going. He loved me. The reason why he got me was I was teaching in UC
Mm,
Berkeley and I was, teacher of MFC and Visual C++. That's what he wanted to do it. So he really liked me so much. And now I'm saying I'm leaving. It was hardly 2 years.
mm.
And then but he started joking. He really liked me so much. I came to know later on. He kept on telling, "Oh, Bineet is going with the bag open to got money, 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 money." That's what he's trying to go, right? And he was joking around me about me and all that. But I said, "Hey, Scrog, if you need anything for me, I had done one amazing project. Anyway, that's some other time. You, Nobody will understand that project, but if that project something happens to it, I will come and fix it. Okay, just let me know. Okay."
Exactly.
and then and then yeah, go, go, go. That's what he said. So I went, I started working, and all that. Behold, in 6 months a call came in. Who's this Scrog? He says, Beneath, I need you. Just take your time, take a half day off or something, just come. And I go there, and the same company, I took a day off from my other company and I went there. And he goes, oh, whatever you did is not working, go fix it. I said, okay, I'll fix it, but where do I go? He said, didn't you have an office here? Oh, I used to work in that office. So why you are here? Go to that office. And I said, okay, I'll go to the office, but I need a computer. Didn't you have a computer here? Yes, I did. So check your computer. I said, don't I need a password? He goes, what was your password? You don't even remember? Six
Oh my
months you
God,
forgot
you
your
haven't even
password?
changed it.
I'm telling you, he had my password, everything, just kept it. He did not think that I'll even leave. Think about that. What was my ownership of the work I was doing that he was so happy that and then not only happy that he trusted me so much that he
Exactly.
didn't change the password. I could have done so many things bad, right? In America, when we go out, we go with our brain out. We
Exactly.
don't take the things out from there, right?
Right, right.
I have heard in Nepal somebody even took the hard drive from the company when they left. That's so sad, right?
Um,
But in here, they trust me so much that my password, everything, and my computer was right there.
exactly, exactly. Only that to add to that, right? I mean, we think that Amro, everything we are is the titles we've हामी titles पाएको जुन छ like or the brand name of the companies and हाम्रो LinkedIn को resume कति लामो छ or whatever, right? तर it's also these things like reputation, the trust and all of that. Okay? त्यो पनि it's such a we never really talk about it. Okay? तर those are such important things पनि, right? The fact that you have अझैले भने जस्तै you have so much ownership, you have that mutual trust both ways, and even when you part ways, you still maintain that. That's कस्तो like
Exactly.
that's important. That's so beautiful, ni.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. We all need to do it. We all
Oh,
need to do it. Your trust भनेको चाहिँ नि आउनुपर्छ के मान्छेले एकचोटि भनेपछि इफ प्रीति विल नट डु एनी हार्म टु मी भन्ने
exactly,
हुनुपर्छ के राइट सो
exactly.
स्क्रग न्यू द्याट बिनिथ विल नेभर डु एनी हार्म टु स्क्रग that kind of things has to be there. Okay,
Oh, oh.
so
No, Tyoti, I think definitely, I think all of us can learn as well, right? So even as we move across and different, professional usma चाहिँ journey-मा पनि, also how do you sort of also leave that, in a way, legacy जस्तो पनि हो नि, right? Where, even long after you're gone, people will also like,
exactly
right? Tio is
right.
such a, incredible thing that we can all earn or strive to earn.
And I will add one more thing in there. America भनेको नि if you really know it, America is very trusting ऊ हो क्या
Yes.
community हो. होइन? So once they lose the trust, think about in 9/11, we lost the trust.
हो नि
That got changed.
अँ,
So सो यस्तो ट्रस्टिङ कि हामी त प्लेनभित्रै गएर आफ्नो साथीहरूलाई लिएर आउन सक्थ्यौँ कि पहिले पहिले
उम्, उम्, उम्,
यहाँ आउँदाखेरि.
हो नि
So, and they trust you so much when you come and then you feel for the country because they trust you. They say that, okay, you are here and sky's the limit, do whatever you like,
एक्ज्याक्ट
right?
अँ
And but they lose trust, then they will come after you,
मेटी
right?
हो
So सिकाउनु पर्ने पनि हाम्रो चाहिने यङ प्रोफेसनलहरूलाई के हो भनेदेखि डोन्ट लुज द ट्रस्ट.
उम्, उम्,
Don't
हो
do that. That's the most important asset in America for you.
Exactly, exactly. So as we try to build, whatever आफ्नो personal life, professional life build गर्दा, I think the trust thing is one metric that we should also be the North Star भने जस्तो. It should be
Exactly.
like that, right?
Exactly. So, yeah,
Amazing,
definitely.
amazing, right? So it's like, so I do want to talk about, we did talk about, professional careers and things like that. It's like, do you feel like, you're in the middle of, Silicon Valley, because the whole, you've seen the evolution of it. त्यो देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ, what is that Silicon Valley and Nepali professionals को चाहिँ, what have you seen in terms of that growth and all of that? And also, to add to that, the growth in numbers or, even in terms of how people have done well, हरू त छँदैछ, तर how can we do better? As a community, whether it's different organizations or individuals को हिसाबले चाहिँ so far जस्तो देखिरहेको छ नि अब Silicon Valley भनेपछि entrepreneurship, innovation is huge. तर अझ like how can we take it to the next level?
That's a good question. That's my my dream and my thought process also. So what I see, first of all, how the transition I saw. I came in here in 95, Silicon Valley. त्यो बेलामा usually most of the folks were professionals के होइन. सो यो अहिले अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो इकोनोमिक माइग्रेन्ट भएको नेपालीहरू पनि धेरै हुनुहुन्थेन पहिले धेरै यहाँ. अनि स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू पनि धेरै कम हुन्थ्यो कि एकदम महँगो पनि हुन्थ्यो होइन. अहिले पनि झन् महँगो छ तर हुन्थ्यो. पछि पछि चाहिँ नि अल काइन्ड्स स्टार्टेड कमिङ इन. तर प्रोफेसनलहरू चाहिँ ग्रो भइरहेको छ एकदम राम्रो यहाँ है. र इफ यु सी इट दे आर इन भेरी हाई पोजिसन भिपी लेभलमा होइन. कतिवटाको त भेरी गुड कम्पनीजहरू नै स्टार्ट गर्नुभएको छ यहाँ पनि बे एरियामा पनि. एकजना डिन हुनुहुन्छ हाम्रो चाहिँ नि सबनम कोइराला आजाद है. सो पिपल आर इन भेरी भेरी गुड पोजिसन्स एन्ड अल द्याट. तर so the point was, okay, what can we do better? So अहिले पनि के हुन्छ भने अब यो हाम्रो हाम्रो समस्या के छ भने we are very communal but in the meantime के भने त्यसलाई
Fragmented?
एकदम डिसइन्टिग्रेटेड जस्तो पनि तर कम्युनल पनि छौँ हामी.
Exactly,
अब
which is
हाम्रो
so contradictory.
हरिहरजीले चाहिँ नि अब त्यो यो न्यु इयरको यहाँ पिकनिक हुन्छ. थाउजन्ड्स अफ पिपलहरू आउँछन्.
अँ,
द्याट्स वान थिङ विच बाइन्ड्स इट. फेरि न्यान्सी भन्ने छ त्यहाँ बाइन्ड्स हुन्छ. तर इफ यु रियली फाइन्ड आउट यहाँ त घर घरमै एउटा नन प्रफिट अर्गनाइजेसन छ क्या फेरि है. सो इन्स्टेड अफ थिङ्किङ वाट एभर आइ एम डुइङ इज दिस समवेयर लाइक वाइ क्यान्ट आई go to TGND and help TGND rather than why should I have my own non-profit for now,
exactly,
right?
exactly. Oh,
So for me, I'm like, I've been there, done that, can USA and all that. I feel good about TGND. Let's go and
take
see
it
what we can do together,
back.
right? For example, where we could do much more better things because you have your strength of bringing the young professional, all that, and we have our strength of being, kind of, I don't know whether you'll say statesman or not. We have been there, done that things.
No, incredible. No, the is exactly that.
So we can bring that synergy, but if we are curious, one thing though I wanted to touch base in the whole thing in my life. You see it, and I'll tie it in later on with what I do and what makes me happy right now. One thing though, right from beginning, what drove me is if I was also thinking, what did I drive? What did drive me for him here is a curious. I
Exactly.
was always so curious in many, many things. You know, S- somebody will give me a, in riddle in गाउँ के भिलेजमा पनि नि इभन केही नपढेको मान्छेलाई पनि रिडल आउँछ के. So they will give me a riddle like 20 items, 20 rupees, and each item को एउटाको 1 रुपियाँ, एउटाको 5 रुपियाँ, एउटाको कति रुपियाँ. How many items you can buy with 20, exact 20 भन्ने के. What? कसरी गर्ने थाहा छैन. अहिले पो सम्झियो. I'm teaching an algorithm and this is called, what I was using it really is some algorithm. It's called brute force algorithm. I did not know any algorithm, but I was using brute force to come up with one by one every scenario. And anybody would try to give me answer. I said, no, don't give me. I want to do it myself. And that is what drove me to be a good debugger in programming गर्दाखेरि के.
Right, right.
I could go in and I'm so passionate in looking looking at inside because I was as a young boy like same thing. I didn't want to get the answer.
No, that's amazing. The curiosity definitely. I agree. Theo is such a skill. Theo lifelong learning, all of that.
Oh,
Right.
exactly.
If you stop being curious, I think Theo, that's when life sort of plateaus, right? In terms
Right.
of and the world is such that at any age, in any phase of your life, there's so much that you can do and learn, and Theo, there's I mean that's why we also love collaborating with Dayaru and so on as well, right? Because Theo, for young people, of course, the mentorship and all of that from seasoned professionals हजुरको networkमा भएको is incredible. तर त्यो both sides पनि छ क्या. There's so much that we can learn. Like for me, like त्यो आफ्नो like volunteers, younger peopleहरूसँग like it amazes me how smart and driven and हजुरले भने जस्तै. So
Yes.
त्यो cross pollination is so important के.
एकदम 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 I've seen it very young in 20s मा एकजना
Oh,
बहिनीले हामीलाई हेल्प गर्नु छ तपाईँकै TGND को
uh,
होइन. I don't want to take her
Ocean,
name
by
because
the
I
way,
did.
we should mention it. Ocean Pandey, this was
She
incredible.
is just amazing. She's just
Exactly.
amazing. So young age and so driven.
Uh,
She's just no nonsense, so driven. So that's how I learned also, right?
exactly.
I became a different person after my girls were born, right?
Uh,
छोरीहरूले मलाई पढायो के होइन. सो
exactly,
पहिले
exactly,
बाबुआमाले पढाउँछन्, पछि चाहिँ नि श्रीमतीले पढाउँछन्, अनि छोराछोरीहरूले पढाउँछन् होइन. So you got to be curious and to learn
exactly.
from them, right? I learn every day from
No,
everybody. So
no, that's
student,
incredible.
very as a good teacher is a good student. I learned that
That's
also being a teacher, right?
yeah, only
So I
right.
got to be good student.
No,
So
that's amazing. I feel like we could go on for hours. एउटा त्यो क्लास ल्याए जस्तै गरेर we could do a session or a whole day session. तर अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ I do want to sort of wrap up with one last question, right? Which is really important. Tell a little bit about हजुरको यो happiness project भनेर, because I know that makes you happy. So share with us in terms of what that is.
yeah, thanks for asking that happiness project. So happiness project, happiness podcastहरू सबै हुन्छन्. मेरो happiness project चाहिँ नि के हो भने what I find, right from childhood के भनौँ न हामीहरू ग्रो हुन्छौँ होइन. अनि केटाकेटी हुँदाखेरि बुढाबुढीहरूसित धेरै कुरा गर्दैनन् मान्छेहरू होइन. यङ मान्छेहरूसित पनि कुरा हुँदैन. यङहरू चाहिँ झन् बुढोसित कुरा हुँदैन, बुढो केटाकेटीसित कुरा हुँदैन. सो अलिअलि त त्यस्तो छँदै थियो. अब त झन् बढी यताउता गऱ्यो कि सेलफोनमा यसो घोप्टे पारेर सबैजना हेर्ने मात्रै काम छ होइन. सो एन्ड देन यिनीहरूसित कोही चाहिँ नि यङ चाहिँ नि प्यारेन्ट आउनुहुन्छ, कुरा गर्नुहुन्छ. दाइ यो मेरो बच्चाले त कुरै गर्दैन हामीसँग. जसले नै वी डोन्ट ह्याभ टु से एनिथिङ दे डोन्ट इन्टरेक्ट एन्ड अल द्याट. हाउ डु आई डु इट काइन्ड अफ राइट. सो माई ह्याप्पिनेस प्रोजेक्ट इज टु बी एबल टु टक टु एभ्रिबडी, स्टार्टिङ विथ हाम्रो हाम्रो एजको मान्छेहरू होइन. आई कल इट 8 to 80 year. ओके. सो द्याट्स जस्ट ए ट्याग लाइन. 8 र 80 भन्दाखेरि राम्रो लाग्छ, तर इट कुड बी 90, इट कुड बी 5 year old. So I really want to talk in their language, be able to connect with them. That's my happiness
Excellent.
project. And then again, I have my calendar given to anybody and whoever wants to talk to me, and we'll have coffee together. This is how I say, come to Bineet and then talk about it. Could be a professional, it could be entrepreneur, it could be, professor or whoever wants to talk to me, and young guys wants to talk to me, and then I give that happiness project. I do that free. There is no क्या भन्ने त्यसमा केही ट्याग छैन मलाई,
Right.
because I have been there, done that. I don't, there is nothing for me. I just want to see that if I could be help. Even you, if you want to dump on me something coming in your head and you want to dump on me, I'll hear it, listen to you, okay, very happily. So whatever we do nowadays, and this Panch Pandav, you talk about it. What and our we do everything as a happiness project. We want to pick up something which is not stressful. The reason is, okay, स्ट्रेस त हुनुपर्छ भनौँ न। अब मैले एउटा एउटा प्रोग्राम गरेँ भनेदेखि त भेन्यूको कुरा आयो, क्यामेराको
Exactly.
कुरा आयो, यो कुरा, त्यो स्ट्रेस इज द्याट्स नट ए स्ट्रेस।
Mm, mm.
त्यो स्ट्रेसलाई त हामी त ट्याक्टिकल स्ट्रेस हुन्छ नि त त्यो।
Right, right.
तर स्ट्रेस भने के भनेदेखि एनर्जी आओस् के।
Ah,
आइएम टकिङ टु प्रीति बहिनी, आइएम गेटिङ एक्स्ट्रा
mm,
एनर्जी
mm,
राइट
mm,
नाउ,
mm.
राइट, आइएम गेटिङ एनर्जाइज
Oh,
भनेपछि यस्तो एनर्जेटिक काम गर्नु पर्यो कि जसले चाहिँ नि हामी we add onto our
to net positive host, right?
नेट पोजिटिभ आउनु पर्यो।
Like
नेट
my
नेगेटिभ
exact.
कुरा काट्ने, यो कुरा चाहिँ कसैको कुरा के भने, यो यस्तो छ उस्तो छ भन्ने भनौँ न, वेयर देयर इज a stress like that, why do I do that now? I don't have to. In fact, that should be mantra for everybody.
Exactly, exactly that.
Not in this age, right from beginning, we should be always doing positive things, think
Exactly.
positive, do positive, and that's how I call it the happiness project. My happiness project is talk to anybody from now
It,
to our Gen Alpha हुन्छ म चाहिँ how many computer language they speak, how many language you speak भनेपछि म भन्छु oh
digital
I speak.
natives, right? त्यही भने no, अनि त्यो is so that I love that at some point you can turn it into whatever, right? In terms there's so much wisdom even in normal conversations. के त्यो चाहिँ I think we forget, right? In
Yeah,
terms of
yeah,
अघि
yeah,
हामीले भने जस्तै intergenerational कति धेरै
right.
कुराहरू so that you can learn, and by just listening I think कति कुराहरू चाहिँ you can pick up के, right?
मेरो आफ्नो पुरानो पुरानो युनिभर्सिटी छोडेको फ्याकल्टीहरूसँग अनि इन्जिनियर्सहरूसँग पनि मेरो टाइम टाइममा चाहिँ नि हुन्छ, कुनैलाई एभ्री मन्थ यो बेलामा यस्तो यस्तो गरेर कुरा हुन्छ क्या हाम्रो ह्याप्पिनेस प्रोजेक्ट।
हजुर।
वी जस्ट कम एन्ड टक प्याट अहिले चाहिँ नि टिचिङ हेज चेन्ज सो मच, त्यसको
Right.
निम्ति चाहिँ नि धेरै कुरा हुन्छ कसरी पढाउने होइन। मेरो नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्टहरू त्यही हो होइन। इज थिङ्क अबाउट इट, इट्स लाइक म भन्छु अहिले त बेस्ट टाइम टु बी अन अर्थ के,
Exactly that.
right?
Exactly.
There's
Exactly.
so many things changing. You can learn so many things. I'm learning so many new things.
Right.
I
And you can, I
just
think, you can learn so many things and you can evolve and reinvent yourself. Kaya AI हरूको, that's another topic. So I don't want to go into
exactly.
with AI हरूमै पनि, right? There's so much you can learn, and even हामीले अहिले the job or the thing you're doing right now you could actually reinvent yourself okay, using technology, which is so exciting, right?
त्यही त मेरो अहिले यो 19th चाहिँ नि एआई टुल्स फर द अफिस पढाउँदैछु म। सो
Oh,
आई
nice,
टिच द्याट फर द एजुकेटर्स एन्ड द टिचर्स।
amazing, which is so
So yeah, now we just did it AI right away। अब भनौँ न मैले अब यो यहाँ सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्रामको चेयर भनेको नि आई हेभ टु डिजाइन द करिकुलम।
Mm.
Think about it. My happiness is this one, that being in Silicon Valley, like a university which bridges gap between the big university, which is
Exactly.
still not coming up with the new technology. उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ टाइम लाग्छ नि त बिग
Exactly.
युनिभर्सिटीलाई,
त्यो agility हुँदैन नि, right?
हुँदैन। So for me it's like okay, I could bring that one, in I have to think, okay, what's happening in Silicon
Exactly. You
Valley,
can be
what can
creative in terms of all of that.
exactly. So yeah, I'm designing that curriculum right now to
Oh,
say
that's
not
exciting.
only patchwork for the AI to use in the teaching, I'm augmenting whole of the teaching with the AI. So
Nice.
अहिले भर्खर एउटा चाहिँ नि पाइथन क्लास चाहिँ नि अगमेन्टेड वेमा चाहिँ नि दुईवटा पाइथन क्लास चाहिँ नि मैले जस्ट बनाएको छु। इट सुड कम इन फल के,
Oh my God,
राइट
that's amazing. I think I'm audience, but I will also share links of everything that you're involved in, so that people can see, especially if they're in the area or are thinking about it, they can be like forefront of innovation and all of that. So so very exciting, Dai. I do want to thank you so much, that you, like I said, I feel like part of me wants to continue for another hour. तर अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ we would have to, wrap up. I want to thank you so much, Dai, for, हजुरको time and your insights. And I think, personal level, I do want to thank you for the support you've shown, not just me, but, the larger TGND community. I think more, everybody that's interacted with you. I think we've all, learned so much. So thank you so much for everything, Dai.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the first guest, first host who's asking me questions. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right. I promise you that it's not going to be the last. Our podcast
Yeah,
is that has become that gateway for people to really know about professionals that are doing incredible work. So very honored that get to be the first, right? That like I said, there's going to be so much more. And I think even in terms of TGND, Kuma, we do want to. I'll see you very soon. That I do. I see a lot of collaboration, Rupani, which will be really exciting to do.
definitely, definitely. When you are in Bay Area,
Of course.
M3 F5P will be there for you.
Exactly. Pants Pandav and one more.
All right, for
Definitely
sure.
has.
Us.
So I let's say, thank you, Dai, and big thank you to our podcast producer, Subigya, as well as our audience. Please engage with our content. Tell us what you want to, who you want to hear from, what kind of questions would be amazing for you, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.